Welcome back to the Daily Chronicle. Today we are going to talk about obsession. I'm Keith.
Oh, that's not where I thought it was going to go. My name is Rodney, and this is the Daily Chronicle. And we came up with this idea to talk about our mornings and talk about our routines. And then we came up with the idea of leaving notes for our daughters and also for ourselves to look back on as we're trying to grow and get better. And then we said, you know what? Let's release it. Let's release it to the world. Let's share it. Maybe other people will get something out of it. But we definitely want to build a community around it and learn from others. So today we're going to talk about obsession. I thought we were going to talk about something. But I get it. I get how it relates.
Yeah. I use the word to better, summarize it. But the idea here is like,
I just lost audio.
It's sent.
So okay, you're back now. Your audio. As soon as you started talking, your audio died.
Yeah, it was weird, and you froze.
Huh.
So maybe you want to just start over?
Yeah. Or we could just start your part over. Like the intro is good, I think.
Yeah.
And then
so
we just tell Ruff to cut all this. And then,
Ruff, you can cut all this. One of us is gonna have to make sure he does.
We'll have to note it in the message to him. Or we'll talk to him in a minute.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, so I used the word obsession simply to summarize it a little bit more, but I'm like feeling extremely connected to what it is that we're doing. And it's a result of a video that you sent. It was one of those motivational videos, and it's a quote I had heard before from, I think it was Will Smith in the video.
Willie Will.
That
Big Willie.
Says, like, what are you doing in your life that you're willing to die for it? Like, do you believe in it? You're so connected to it. I've never understood what that meant, other than with my kids, until I listened to it today. And I think it's because this idea has been on my mind for a while, and I'm curious to open that conversation. Like, I don't know if it's this more in common, or what about more in common it is for you that, in the hyperbolic nature of it, like you'd be willing to die for the principle of something, whatever that may be, the idea of something. And I'm curious to ask.
So in general, I've always understood the conversation as it relates to me serving other people, my family, my siblings, my parents, my grandparents, now my kids and my wife. I have never, and still I understand what Will is saying. Like, he says things like, well, I have a plan B. Plan B only distracts from plan A. And me, I'm like, you need a plan C and D, bro. Like,
right.
Inevitably it's gonna fail. And which isn't bad, but I understand logically, but I do not have any sort of an emotional connection to those words. Not for this endeavor, and more largely from myself. I like, what would you die for? Myself is not in that. Like, I would not answer I would die for myself, and I think that's the reason I don't connect to it, because in order to drive hard enough to hit the goals that I want, like, I would have to be willing to die to myself, whether it's metaphorically or maybe it's physically. I push through a new barrier. I would have to be able to do that in order to do that, to achieve those things, so it does not connect for me the way it's connecting for you.
And it's interesting because the death component of it is a bit farther down the road than I'm willing to go for anything other than my kids. But
you said hyperbolic, like, it's not. I mean, and I'll be like, for Will, I know, actually I've watched some documentaries on him.
It's
he
legit.
Like, he's actually gonna do something like he will die for it,
right.
And I think there's a lot of high achievers are that way about things that I would say is silly,
right?
But that's why I'm not there at the same time,
right?
I mean, fear of death is like human beings' number one issue or hang up with working out is fear of death. Like, I
Yeah.
fear that I'm going to run out of oxygen, or I'm going to
Yeah.
have a heart attack while I'm doing
Right.
it. So like I'm not thinking about it purely as like I'm going to be in the grave, or
Or this is the
for
thing.
this thing, but like, would I lay myself on the line to the point where that's potentially possible, or like, I'm so exhausted. I'm more exhausted than I've ever been. Like, would I lay for my kids? Absolutely, no doubt. For me, that's how like
The
the inner dialogue works for me.
so the what has come up for me in this recently is something I've been thinking about it as it relates to more in common. And I don't think I've anchored. I'm starting to anchor, as I should say, on this journey, um, on what more in common actually is. Like that principle, where that name comes from, right?
Mhm.
The name storm that ultimately that name resonates is because I, in my bones, in everything that I am, from a principled person's perspective, believe that humanity has more in common with each other than not. It's scientifically
Oh yeah,
proven, it's biologically proven, it's psychologically proven. We divide ourselves. We
I will
do it,
die on that hill. Like, if somebody wants to argue that, I'll die on that
and
hill.
that's
Like,
and that's that's where I'm at right now, right? Is we have historically as a being created us them psychology to protect resources, to protect whatever it is from foreign invaders, right? Things that we don't understand or know. And now in today's evolution, today's day and age, that is more detrimental than it is positive than it was back in 10,000 years ago, or a million years ago, when bipeds started to socialize and create ecosystems.
oh, bipeds.
And the evolution of us going forward hinders on that very principle of unity at a human level, right? Like, and I like this whole mission of helping people do it through conversation, because the spoken word is not language, not the spoken word.
Mm.
Language is our way of connecting, right? Whether it's sign language, whether it's grunting, whether it's body
Nonverbal,
language, whatever
verbal.
it might be, language is how we connect to each other. So anchoring people in compassionate conversation, that principle is something that I am ready to die on a hill for, because I just think it matters so much right now, and there's such an
Mm.
ecosystem out there of other people who think like that, but there's such a world right now where we don't. And
Such a disconnect.
I'm super excited to be on this journey and starting this. And you sent me that video, I started thinking about it, and I'm like, you know what, like we're on this journey, but we're starting this journey each and every day in a new place, right? So that is the
Well,
place I'm in right
we
now
should
today.
post the video in the comments. Dr. Dre
Yeah, I
Dre
agree.
said, because like you said, obsession, and it's a word I've never really felt I've had. I
Yeah,
think, to probably you or to other people, I have absolutely had obsessions.
sure.
But I think that's the thing, is like, when you're in an obsession, you don't necessarily realize it. And Dre was
Right.
like, what he said, like 27 years he's been in the rap industry,
2 weeks
and like
not in studio.
2 weeks
Not in
out of
studio.
27. Yeah, it's like, but I I think about that. I'm like, yeah, like, I do something for this every day, and it's almost like drinking water. Like, I
Yeah,
wake up in the morning, I drink water. Like,
right. I do it at
um,
night. I do it on the weekends. Like, it's like, oh, it's something I need to do. It's not
it's not even
something
a
like,
need. It's
right.
just
Like,
part
well,
of
I
me.
need to drink water. Like, I need to
Oh,
eat. It's
I
one of
guess
those
I need to
types of
drink
things.
water.
Yeah. And
Mm.
it's one of these things I've been thinking a lot about since we interviewed Catherine Hahn, and um, that it just resonated with me today. So this is where I'm at. So, is there anything that you have that connection to? And if so, what is it?
What would you die for?
Mm.